Hi everyone, Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and today I'm going to be asking that same old question, does size really matter? So I've got a really cool video coming up for you now. I'm going to be comparing the Perry's plastics, we've got some Warlord and Victrix as well. I'm going to be doing them side by side just to compare the shapes and sizes of each individual model, see if they would mix in well together for battalions. I know some people ask all the time, do Perry's mix well with Victrix, do Victrix mix well with Warlord? So I'm going to show you that today and put the myth to bed at last. So while you're here, guys, why don't you head to the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook group. I'll put the link in the description box down below. It's a really good place to get all the information that's coming up on the channel. Great place to have discussions with other hobbyists like yourself and post pictures up for comments and feedback. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the 4 miniatures. We've got a Perry's on the left hand side. We're followed by a Victrix, another Perry's in battle dress this time, and then you've got the Warlord in greatcoat on the right hand side just here. So looking at these models, you can compare the size. They're all 28mm. Noticeably, just slightly, the battle dress guy here seems a little bit shorter than the Grenadier. Greatcoat from Warlord just here seems roughly about the same size, and your head obviously on the Grenadier is a bit higher, and the greatcoat on this left hand side for this Perry seems to be just on par with the other 3. So the Grenadier's head is sticking out a little bit. Normally you would expect to see this head probably a little bit taller than what it is at the minute. It does define between all 4 of them, you know, it is the taller one of them, but I would suspect with different manufacturers, so for example the Warlord Grenadier, I'd expect the head would be a little bit bigger. But saying that, when you get these miniatures onto their bases, can you really tell the difference between them all? So for myself, I personally think not, and I will demonstrate that in a minute. I'll show you some bases where I've got mixed, and I think they go perfectly fine, and I don't think there's an issue with it. But if you really want to have a look, you know, you've got the bayonet here, probably a tiny bit higher than some of the Perry ones just here, and you've got obviously the Victrix one here. He does look a little bit thinner than the Warlord. Same with the Perrys, they do tend to look a little bit thinner. And if you look at the hands, the heroic scale with the Warlord figures, which I quite like anyway, because these miniatures are very easy to put together, and you can paint these up very quickly. They're literally 3 parts. So you've got the backpack with the bayonet just there, you've got the head, and then you've got the body. So it's just 3 parts, really quick, really simple to put together. Same with these Perrys, you've got the head and you've also got the backpack to go on. They're 3-parter as well. Victrix, a few more parts. You've got both arms separate, the backpack and the head, that's all separate. And with this one just here, it was just the backpack and the head again. But these ones, these Perrys I should say, are from the older kit. So the 18, I want to say it's 1812 to 15, but it might even be 1810 to 15 box you get. So in that box you get a mix with the battle dress, and you also get a mix with the greatcoats. But the new Battalion box and the Elite box, there are a lot more parts to the miniatures. They do scale the same. I've checked. I have had a check. I just haven't got any separately on bases at the minute. Just spare line about. They're all on bases, sorry, they're not separate, so they wouldn't compare very well. But I will show you some miniatures in a minute that are painted up just for reference, just so you guys can see. I'll flip these over on the back just to show you, just so you can see what backpacks and things scale like. And in all honesty with you, I think they all scale pretty well. If I was really in a pinch and I wanted some Grenadiers for a battalion or something like that, I'd probably use these old guard. There's no reason you couldn't. They're in greatcoats. You probably got a slight different variation of the greatcoat uniform, but nothing that I'd noticed really. I think they look alright. I think they look quite smart, to be honest. I really do like the Victrix stuff. In all fairness, they are probably some of my favourite models. But no, I think overall, guys, I'll be honest with you, I don't really think, you know, you couldn't mix these together. I shall get some together now and I'll show you. So, as promised, I said I would show you a mixed battalion, and as you can see on here, I've got a mix of Warlord and I've got some Perry miniatures in here as well. There's probably about a 50-50 split. So on the left hand side there you can see the Grenadiers, they are Perrys. And next to them you've got a Perry on the back, but then you've got a Warlord greatcoat on the front. And then we've got some Perry miniatures mixed in with some Warlord greatcoats again. So you've got field dress and the Warlord greatcoats. Then for command, I've got Perry for the main three at the front. So the drummer, the standard bearer, and also the officer are all Perry. But then at the back there, I've got some Warlord greatcoats again. And for the Voltigeurs, for their company, I've got a mix of Perry and Warlord again. So you've got Warlord on the back there, and you've got a Perry and Perry greatcoat, and also a Perry battle dress. So it is completely mixed. And to be honest, guys, I don't know what you think, and let me know in the comment section below. But I don't think it's that bad. And I think it's quite a good way of doing these units, like the Italians or maybe the Swiss as well. You know, I think it's quite a nice way to mix up the units. Just because, you know, painting a lot of white, and people will probably agree with me with this, you know, it can be really, really boring. Because I'm not a great fan of painting all like the battle dress uniforms and stuff. It is nice, don't get me wrong, when it's done, but it is a slog to do. And when you've got some great coats in there, it really does mix it up a little bit. And yeah, I think it works really well, guys. I'm going to be honest with you, I really do. Flags by GMB, if you're wondering. Only place I go for my flags now is GMB. If you want to see a tutorial of how I do my flags, let me know in the comment section below as well. And I can put that out there. It's just really simple technique. But yeah, really happy with like mixing these guys up. And in all honesty, I would probably put some Victrix as Grenadiers with like the old guard heads. Maybe I'd change them out. Maybe kit bash them with some Perrys that I've got left lying about. But I'd use the bodies for the greatcoats. And I'll probably, to be honest with you, thinking about it now, probably my next battalion of Italians, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I recommend, guys. You know, I think it's doable and I think it looks quite cool. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think I'm raving mad? Do you think I should go and hide in a cupboard somewhere for daring to mix these models together? But nah, in all seriousness, if you don't like mixing, you don't like mixing. That's fair enough. But I think it gives a bit of vibrancy, a bit of realism, because like I said, and Martin said, and Dom said, and the Plastic Crap podcast, and same as Steve, no one's the same size and build. Okay, I'm a little bit more on the chunky side, but I do want to be on the thinner side. But yeah, I think it looks awesome. But let me know, like I said, in the comment section below what you think. So Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors signing out. Take care. Bye bye.